Hello and welcome to this evening time taste challenge. I have two 40% alcohol Caribbean Islands rums. This is Bacardi Gold, introduced in 1862 in Cuba, but they left Cuba in 1962, the Bacardi family, due to some less than favorable governmental changes. So they got away from those gangsters and they went to Puerto Rico and continued producing their rum. Although their headquarters is actually in Bermuda, the British territory of Bermuda, another island country out in the Atlantic Ocean. So, but it has been, it's bottled in Florida at some facility. I guess they have a facility in Jacksonville, Florida that bottles it. It's produced in Puerto Rico. One of the world's most famous rums, and in fact, it's the world's best-selling rum, Bacardi. I don't know if it's the white or the gold. The superior is the white, but they're both, Bacardi is everywhere. Merry Christmas to you, Herbie. Thank you for saying that. All right, so beautiful bottle, one of the great legendary liquor brands, one of the best-looking bottles ever, And then we got one that is not one of the most famous in the world. This is Winn-Dixie distilled rum imported from the Caribbean islands. They don't specify which islands because it probably changes depending on who's got the best deal year to year, month to month. So it's imported, bottled in Kentucky by Wide World Importers for Winn-Dixie stores. Private label, may have been a private label since 1955. I don't know that. These big bottles used to be glass, now they're plastic. John Mallory says, smiling, 100 and a beer glass. Same to y'all. Have a nice Christmas Eve. I just decided to stay home tonight. I did not go to the Christmas party Sunday night because I had to work the next day. And I mean, Christmas parties are fine, but I didn't want to go to work all tired, sleepy. I mean, when you got to clock in at work at 6 a.m., and I've had people tell me, I get up at 6 a.m. So I said, I didn't say get up at 6 a.m. I said, get to work, clock in at 6 a.m. They say, oh. I said, right, oh. So I just skipped it. But anyway, plastic cap, metal cap. All right. Little Cynic says, been on a rum kick lately, right up my alley. Yeah, I'm not on a rum kick. It's just I go in a certain pattern, so I'm on the rum right now. After I do rum, I'll do tequila, then mezcal, then bourbon. I'm sorry, rye whiskey, then bourbon, then American blended whiskey, then back to bourbon because I got to catch up on my bourbon. I got too much backstock. And then I'll do Canadian blended whiskey, Irish blended whiskey, single malt scotch, blended scotch whiskey, brandy or cognac, same thing, brandy, and then back to rum. All right, thank you, Jay, says John Mallory. Merry Christmas, Ron, says Lost Prairie Dog. I'm drinking some Evan Williams eggnog. Oh yeah, I've got some of that peppermint white chocolate in my fridge. Good stuff. Much better than I thought it would be. I was initially disappointed that they didn't have the Pennsylvania Dutch. Really, I like Pennsylvania Dutch, but I like it a lot. But I think the Evan Williams is better to me. It's got more body. It's a little thicker. Herbie says India is the only country to have an ocean named after it. That's right. I hadn't thought of that. All right. Lucky dog. The Bacardi's gold and the Winn-Dixie is pale straw, barely gold. It's much lighter. I don't think they're adding color into either one of these. Well, I know they're not adding into the Winn-Dixie because usually they'll tell you, Sazerac, who owns Wide World Importers, they'll tell you if they're adding coloring. It doesn't say anything on there about coloring added or flavoring added, so I think we're safe. Bacardi, I don't know. Maybe they're adding coloring. Maybe they're adding flavoring. I know they charcoal filter it. They drip it through charcoal, and it's a secret combination of different woods. Charcoal made from different woods. What are the woods? We're not going to ever find out, and they're not going to tell you, and it's a secret. So drinking Bacardi Black right along with you. Cheers, says Little Cynic. Oh yeah, I love Bacardi Black. Indian Ocean kids. Right. We got it. We get it. Okay, now we're going to go to the screen share, and then I'll do the taste challenge, and then I'll go see what's on television. I don't have any good games tonight. Well, they do have it at 7. What am I saying? Bacardi Gold. Rich flavors and golden complexion roasted oak barrels. The secret behind its unique mellow character, a blend of charcoal only to them. So that's what they're touting on their website. Charcoal, secret blend of charcoal. And you're now. I would like to go to Puerto Rico and take a distillery tour, but I get the impression that you don't get to see the distillery. I got to research that more because I was reading about the tours and they were the way they were describing them. It's like, well, I don't think I get to see. I don't care about, oh, it's going to be a rum experience. Okay, I can have an experience here. And I can read about the rums, and the tour is $40. That's a lot of yayo. And I want to see I really don't care about the rum experience. I care more about seeing how they make it, So I'm going to research that some more. And if they don't tour where you can see them doing the distillery work, I'm going to skip that. And then they got an $80 rum tasting tour. I said, $80? To taste rum? Well, I could buy a bunch of their rums for $80 and taste them for a long time. Okay, so good website, though. I can't lie about that. Winn-Dixie, well, as you can see, it's very basic. $12.99, wow, for that huge bottle. But it's never going to win. It's going to get killed right about right now. I'm not anti-Bacardi. I don't know if people assume that. I'm talking about the tour. Good evening. You. Kyle D says, good evening. Burley Sullivan says, you. Cheers back to you. Merry Christmas, Jay, to you and your loved ones, says Jason Cleveland. Same back to you, Jason. Thanks for stopping by on Jordy's hangout. Hadn't been talking to Jordy in a while. We had a falling out. No, we didn't. I'm just kidding. I just had so many videos I was backlogged on, but he likes to do a lot of live hangouts, and I don't really watch those too much or do them. I like to do like the themes, but he used to do at first a lot of video reviews where they were recorded and he would review a beer, and he would do that trademark final score. It used to crack me up, But however you want to run your channel, it's up to you, I guess. Okay. But if we got together, we'd probably have a good time, No, I mean. All right. Bacardi, yeah, you can get a good deal on that. I mean, you shop around. They got good deals on it. Won't be $12.99 for a handle, but, it won't be exorbitant. Dry grain, not grain spirits, but dry sugarcane fruit spirits. Sugarcane, I guess, would be part of the fruit family. It's a grass, but the juice is sweet. Not a vegetable. All right. Even drier, even less of anything here. This is like some aroma and no aroma. This has got to be Bacardi, man. There is no way that is Bacardi with that little dullness, with that dullness, that dullness. Drink better kids beers. Okay, you're making fun of David. Drink better beers, kids. I'm lucky that we have a class 6 that has got a lot of discounted liquors. I don't know what that means, but I'm glad to hear about the discounts. In California over here, going to Black Bear Diner. I don't know what that is, but I hope y'all enjoy it. All right. This has got to be the Bacardi. You see, it's got that wood, that oak, that deep oak. It's clean, though. It's clean. Mm-hmm. Clean. Hey, clean. No, I mean, it's so clean, I mean, it's just so perfected. So perfected. Now, some people got an attitude, like, it's a mass-produced product, so I gotta hate it. I guess if you got to do that, you go ahead and do that. But I don't have an axe to grind. At this point, I like this mild sugariness. It's almost even like some kind of molasses-ish. Can't even describe it. Bacardi for the win. Got it. Got it. Got it. Well, whatever the final score is, it's only going to be 2 losses. I did get it wrong twice, but that was against other wide world importers' products, meaning Buffalo Trace, the Sazerac company. Got it wrong twice. You say, why? Because you're bad. You can't taste rum right. It's because they're so similar. I started getting the impression that it was the same stuff in 3 different bottles with different labels. Maybe it is. Maybe it is, because when I started going up against other companies, I never got it wrong. Never got it wrong once. Go watch the videos. So I did the in-house rums. Got it right. Got it wrong. Got it wrong. Then I started going to other companies. Got it right. 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 It's like a repetitive thing. It's still happening. Now, what's going to happen with Bacardi Major Laser? I got that bottle for $7.99. Unbelievable. So very unbelievable. Thank you, Acquista Paces, for that full-size bottle for $7.99. The greatest deal in the world. They don't produce that anymore. There's no way Winn-Dixie will win that contest. That's an impossibility. It can never happen. Don't you realize I would use all my powers to prevent such a thing from ever happening? But I mean, it could not happen. And then the Bacardi 8-year, ha 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 ha. Yeah, sure, Winn-Dixie, you'll win that. And then the 10-year, the Gran Reserva Diaz. Yeah, that's going to be a wonderful video. And then thankfully, we'll move on to more competitive challenges. Well, maybe, because I don't know about Winn-Dixie Gold Tequila. I'm sorry, silver tequila. The last Winn-Dixie Gold I bought was in a silver label. They labeled it wrong. It was gold tequila and it had the silver label on it. I was like, uh-oh, somebody screwed up in Kentucky, but I almost brought it back and said, can I exchange this for the correct label? But then I said, no, it'll be a funny video, it'd be kind of comical that it's so screwed up. They would have let me exchange it. I have no doubt about that. They would have done it. They'd have just stuck it right back on the shelf and somebody else would have bought it and never noticed. But I didn't bother doing it. Okay, let's go over to Winn-Dixie. So Bacardi, it's wonderful. It deserves an A. It's a most excellent product. I love it. I could never say anything bad about it. I had the black. It was great. The Superior is great. The 8-year age is a fabulous product. The 10-year is wonderful. I've never had the 4-year, the Añejo 4-year, but I can buy it at Walmart. I just haven't gotten around to it. Winn-Dixie. Oh, it's got some decent character. Okay, let's see. John Mallory's laughing. Tommy Carroll says, "Cheers, Louisiana Liquor Reviews. Would you tell me again what you're going to use instead of bland for a descriptor?" Sure. How about dull, drab? Those are good, aren't they? Okay, I won't say that the product's bland. I'll say it's dull or drab. Ho hum, ordinary. It's not bad. I'm sipping it. I'm not saying, oh, it's so bad. It has a disgusting flavor. It's stomach turning. I hate it. Nothing like that. It's just it's basic in a way, in a comparative sense, relative to the other ones I'm going against. But on its own merits, it's not really basic. And let me try to explain that. It has some oak barrel. Now, how long was it in the oak barrel? I bet it wasn't a year. Look how light it is. It just got a little color from the oak. And it's a blend anyway. You know, these are always a blend. So they could be, maybe there is some 3-year in there. You say, oh, it's a 3-year. The 3 years from Barbuda Island. The 2 years from Anguilla. The 1 year is from Jamaica. And we blend them together and it gives it that flavor. Okay. Has a little light molasses flavor. Can't lie. I mean, I could lie, but I'm not going to. The body's very light. There's sugar. Finish is dry. So you say, well, it can't be sweet and finish dry. Yes, it can. A lot of these, you say, well, you're not a master distiller. I know you're not either. You're not a master blender either. But a lot, and they do that with beer also because, you know, they blend beer. Like Budweiser is a blend of beers. They put them together and they make it taste just so Budweiser-ish. But really a blend of batches is what I mean. A blend of different batches that they're producing at this brewery. But it can have a sweet flavor, but it'll finish dry. Or, well, maybe semi-dry if it's really sweet. But it won't finish cloying and will. I mean, you say, well, I bought Steel Reserve grape and it was sweet. Yeah, I mean, well, you know, I mean, you start there's where you get really low on price. Some of it's gonna not be the best. Okay, but this one is cheap also, and it's not bad. I'm not gonna say I never said it was bad. I never in any video I made go look at all. I never said it was bad. I just said it was bland, like you were coming at me on that because I keep saying bland. And only in a relative sense. On its own merits, it's not that bland. Has some decent little character. Do I like it? I do like it. I'm not going to pretend like, oh, well, I'm saying to myself, like, oh, it's a store brand, it's private label. I better kind of talk bad about it because I don't want people to think bad about my channel. You know, I don't care about all that kind of stuff. I think it's all right. So would I buy Winn-Dixie rum, dark rum? Theoretically, I would. Not in reality. I bought it. I have a bottle. It's going to last probably the rest of my life. The way this is going. So, and I don't mean I think I'm going to die soon. I hope not. I mean, the way it's going is that it takes so long to go through a bottle because I do this at such a slow pace. You know what I'm saying? Even if I double, like, theoretically, it would be 7 a week, right? but then it turns out maybe sometimes 9 a week, because it's a little bit. And so, but at that rate, just plodding through, like now Winn-Dixie versus this rum, and now Winn-Dixie versus that other rum, and now Winn-Dixie versus the third, and I don't do those triplicate and quadruple video challenges. I see people doing this and I'm like, ugh. They're like, hey guys, hey YouTube, I'm doing Bud Light and Natural Light and Miller Light today, all three. And it gets so confused, and I'm like, you never needed to do that. I'm saying this to myself. You never needed to do that. Why are you doing this? Blind taste test, good idea, the best idea. You could do Bud Light versus Miller Light, and then you could do Bud Light versus Natural Light. And then you could do the next one versus the other. You don't have to do a big festival where everything is confused and you don't even know what you're tasting. Don't make it a 3-ring circus. Make it a 2-ring circus. Got 2 beers, put one against the other. Fine, do it. Make it a tournament like this. Now, but you see, but it takes a long time. And it's like, I'm gonna go slow through the progression. I'm gonna go through the progression. And with this hyperactive environment we live in, people are all hyperactive. They all like attention span. Well, there is no attention span. So they like, I'm gonna jump to this video. I'm gonna jump to that video. I'm gonna jump to this, into that, into this, into that, into this, into that. Like a mania, And so then, and a lot of people are trying to feed into that. They're like, well, I gotta make my videos in a certain way that the mania can get attracted to it. But this channel, you've noticed that over the years. This channel is definitely not for people that's in that type of mania, or they jumping around, hyperactive, low attention span, unfocused ability. You know what I mean? I know people like this. You can't even talk to them. They'll ask you a question. Ronald, what do you do about your credit rating? And I'm like, well, what I do is and then they off to talking to somebody else. I'm like, this person, you cannot talk to this person. You could never help this person because they can't focus on anything. Then I'll see the person a week later. You got advice about a budget? And I'm like, yeah, but you ain't going to listen to it. Okay, because you're off to you're jumping around like a jackrabbit or a cricket. So yeah, I like to go real slow. That's just the way I do it. And it may bother people to no end. I understand that this channel is not for everybody, obviously. But this thing is great. So the Bacardi Gold is fabulous, wonderful. And they make some real high-hat bourbons that will not be $17.99 a bottle, maybe $217.99 a bottle, like literally $200-$300. But that's, you don't see that too much. But they do make those. But just like Jose Cuervo, that's the whipping dog of the tequila world. People like to make sure everybody's watching them when they talk bad about Jose Cuervo. It's like, let me make sure everybody sees me talk bad about Jose Cuervo. I got to build some street cred. But honestly, they have $300 bottles of Jose Cuervo you can get right there at Total Wine and More. It's in a cabinet. You'll have to ask them to unlock the cabinet. And give that one an honest review. And let's see how you could talk dog about that. I don't see why you're talking dog about the regular Jose Cuervo, honestly. To tell you the truth, it's really not bad. It's a little, I can't say bland anymore. I'm going to get in trouble. It's a little less exciting. That thing's creamy. It's got cream. It's like a cream ale, a beer. Oh, that's the stuff right there. Oh, Bacardi. Would I ever get tired of drinking Bacardi Gold or Superior? I don't think so. Would I ever want this bottle to go away? I don't believe I would, but it is going away. Look at it. Now we down to the bottom 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Okay, bottom 20%. Oh, he said, but you got the Winn-Dixie to keep you going. Yeah, yeah. But it's not that bad. I mean, it's actually not bad. I'll say that bad, but it's actually good in its own little way. It's quaint. Let's call it. Winn-Dixie rum is quaint. It's got its own special little qualities. Um, so if you're looking to buy something inexpensive and it's not terrible, you're like, I want something that's good. I can live with B minus. Like you say, oh, I'm having this party, we're making rum cake or whatever, and I can live with a B minus. And $12.99 a handle, I could really live with that. That sounds like something I am definitely favorable towards. Then I would go with this. This would be a good option. You can go to Walmart and get Caliber. It might be $1.50 less, but that's a weird one. I don't know if I'd do that. That Caliber is unique, but I mean, if you want a rum that tastes like strawberry shortcake, go for it. You'll never confuse it with anything else. But yeah, that one's kind of on Wacky World. That's in the Wacky World. If you want a more traditional, but yet not, I'm gonna say dull. Get this one. Get this one. It's more traditional. Now, if you want a really good rum, you're not budget conscious at the time. But I mean, obviously, this is not expensive. You just want a premium priced rum, like Jack Daniels for whiskey, Johnny Walker Red for Scotch, uh, um, for brandy. I'm trying to think of one that would be a premium price. I wouldn't say Hennessy because it's overpriced. Corbel, okay, Corbel for brandy. Uh, Jose Cuervo for tequila, silver or gold. Mezcal, well, that's a hard one because that's kind of a niche that's becoming a burgeoning thing. I don't know what to say about that one. American blended, obviously, Seagram 7 Crown. Canadian, Crown Royal, naturally. And so you get the picture. Irish, Jameson, you see. So it's kind of like it works. This is in that ilk. And it's wonderful. And they're all of those that I just named are in the same way. They're all standardized, if you want to say standardized. But they're so good. They're so pinpoint their production quality assurance is so dialed in. Like you're not going to buy a bad batch of Johnny Walker Red Label. It's just not going to happen. But you might buy a bad batch of some of these off the wall mom and pop product. And I'm not against mom and pop products. I do not want that to be taken the wrong way. I'm not against mom and pop restaurants or anything like that. But many times there is a problem with consistency. And you've all experienced that. All right, let's look at the comments. So the winner, the clear and present winner is clear and obvious. The Bacardi. Okay, last comments. Tommy Carroll says, I picked up a 6-pack of Celebration Ale for the holidays. Have you tried it this year? No, but I've got a 6-pack. I bought it this morning, Tommy. And I got them in the refrigerator, and I'm ready to roll them. I can't wait. I'm gonna probably not drink them till the day after Christmas, the second day of Christmas. There's 12 days of Christmas. Some people have this idea that the 12 days of Christmas are before Christmas. No, that's Advent. Sorry. The 12 days of Christmas start tomorrow, and they end at Epiphany. And then Epiphany starts carnival season. And carnival, meat time, carnival, time of eating meat. Runs until Mardi Gras, Fat Tuesday, where you get fat and out of control, I guess, because then the Lenten season starts, which runs until Easter Sunday, and then the Easter season starts. See, most of these holidays are based on the practices of the church, not a church, the church. Okay, Flugie, hadn't heard from you in a while. Hello, Flugie. Good evening, Jay. Flugie here from Liverpool, England. Do you like all of the contract brew from City Brewing in La Crosse, Wisconsin? I like some of them. I certainly do not like all of them. Little Cynic, do you have a favorite rum so far? Oh, I'm sleepy. I got up before 2 a.m. Yeah, before 2 a.m. Did take a nap. Couldn't really get to sleep though. Yeah, I think I do, and it might be Appleton Estate Signature Rum. That's a just amazing product. An amazing product. Do you drink? Do you mostly drink liquor neat, or do you enjoy cocktails? I never drink cocktails. I'm not anti-cocktail. I'm not an anti-cocktailite. I don't take issue with cocktails. I don't encourage people not to drink cocktails. But my personal preference is to drink each product neat at room temperature. No ice, nothing, just from the bottle, room temperature. That's my preference. Everybody's got their own way. I understand that. You could make the fanciest cocktails in the world and give them to me, and I wouldn't really want to drink them. I'm just telling you the truth. I'm just being honest. I don't care about them, but I know it's a big deal. Alex says, Merry Christmas, everyone. Yes, Alex, Merry Christmas. James says, Merry Christmas. James from Toronto, Canada. I'd go for the Bacardi, but I tend to stay away from spirits since my tremendous hangover from Martell BS. Well, I can understand that. I like Martell. I really love that blue, the Bluebird, whatever the blue one, aged and finished in bourbon barrels. But I had the Martell BS and I really liked it. But when you overindulge on something, you get ill, then it turns you off forever. I know, I get that. Thankfully, I haven't done that. Now you have me curious about dieting. Dieting, it's a good practice. Kyle D says pegans. I'm reading what was written. Pegans specifically, and then the church just was like, this looks cool, let's do that. Right. Exploding plastic inevitable. All right, well, I gotta get back to planet Earth now. Y'all take care. You know, Jay, that Bud Ice bottle behind you on the shelf saved me from many things. Classic beer there, even though this is Bush. Yeah, those are all Bud Ice, and I have natural ice also. Kyle D says sorry. John Mallory says smiling. Okay, well, y'all take care now. Have a nice Christmas Eve. They'll be lighting the bonfires on the levee, the Mississippi River levee, in about 43 minutes to welcome Papa Noel to Louisiana. They say he's up in, I believe he's in Tennessee, Bob, right about now. But they have a bonfire they built. It's beautiful. It looks like a deer reclining on the top of the levee. But I was driving by the levee today and I saw a lot of traditional bonfires, just the pyramid shaped, tall pyramid. And they had so many. Oh, that's going to be a fire. Amazing fire. Okay. Bye-bye, y'all. Take care. Cheers to you, James, and everybody else. Thanks for watching, everybody. So, of course, no surprises. Bacardi easily won. What do you expect? Take care. Bye-bye. And then it's going to get worse because I got Bacardi. I got some other Bacardis coming in there, higher grade.